Good morning, guys. It's Wednesday morning. It's Real Estate Chat with me. Hope you guys are all doing well. Believe it or not, today is episode 99. So the topic we're going to talk about today is, as you know, a lot of people have been thinking of selling. There's less inventory now than it used to, and there's still a lot of home buyers out there. But the question basically is, why are there no inventory out there? Well, to help understand what the situation is, the reason there's very low inventory is because hi Helen, thank you for joining. So the reason there's very low inventory right now when it comes to real estate is because a lot of people have purchased their home pre-COVID days, and even during COVID days, and we are pretty much locked in the 2-3% interest rates. And right now, interest rates are ranging between 6 to 7%. So for a lot of people, letting go that 2-3% is not very easy, because that 3% margin, like that 2-3% difference in interest rate, is a lot for some people. But at the same time, there are homeowners out there who are locked in 2-3%. Some of them may have done like a 5-1 arm, which means you're locked in for 5%. Let's say 2-3% for 5 years. But the thing is, like, a lot of you out there is stuck. You need to move, but you don't know what you need to do. So if you are one of these people that are really, really considering what to do with your property, if you really want to sell because of certain reasons, then this episode is something for you to listen to. So why there are people out there, even if they're locked into 2 or 3% or anything under 4% interest rate. Hey John, how are you? It's been a while. Hope you and your children are doing well. So the reason people basically, even if they're locked into 2-3, anything under 4%, are having a dilemma, these are some reasons that, if this is you, definitely reach out to me. These are the reasons why people still may have to sell their house even if they're locked into a low interest rate. This is one of them. One, a lot of you, there are some of you, I've seen this quite a bit recently, where they are relocating. As you know, sometimes some of you, hey Glenn, thanks for joining. So a lot of you basically either found a new job, so for whatever reason you ended up having to move to Florida, or you needing to move to Maryland, or just like even Stanford, or for any reason you have to move or you're relocating. Even if you're locked into that interest rate, you may have to move. But the thing is, like, the homeowners are now worried about, well, if I sell my house right now and then we move, what happens if we don't like it? But the thing is, though, at this point, if you are relocating because of a good job offer, it might be one of those things, an offer you can't refuse. One, you may even have the company you're relocating to pay for relocation, and so your expenses could be low. But at the same time, yes, it's true. Yes, you have to give up your 2% or 3%, and you're moving to an area where you may find something, and then you have to start paying 6%. But you have to put everything in consideration, because if that job offer that you have was not a good job offer, you won't even be, quitting your current job to move to the next one. And again, everything is a negotiation. You could basically negotiate with your new employer that not only should they look into paying your relocation, maybe they can give you some budget that would help you either pay for your rent, or something that could help you basically ask for more money so you could afford, buying a new property wherever you're moving. I guess that's my bottom line is, if you're relocating. So relocation or relocating is one of the reasons why, even if people are locked into their low interest rate, it might be something that they have to do, is to, hi Luke, thank you for joining, is basically it's something that you may need to do, even if you're locked into the, in the 2-3%. And if you think about it too, one of the things that you have to factor in, if you have purchased your house more than 5 years ago, anything pre-COVID, the value of your home right now may have gone up at least 20%, as is. So it may be a break even, or it could be more. Who knows? You won't know until you speak to an agent. So that's the first reason why people would sell their house. Another reason people would be selling is because when you first bought your home, you were either just single or you were on your own, but now you just had a baby, or basically what may have happened is just like, okay, you bought a home because you wanted to, you had the money, and you're realizing, you know what, I've saved enough money and I think I want to upgrade. I want to have a better home than what I have right now. So that's another reason why homeowners actually would consider upgrading. Either they started with a small home with a small lot, but they really, really wanted to have like a bigger home with a bigger lot, then this is definitely a good time for you to sell your home or put your home in the market. The third thing, which is actually the most common reason why people have been, have put their homes on the market, is because they're downsizing. Well, because interest rates are high, the everyday cost of living is also quite high. I don't know when was the last time you went to a grocery store. It used to be, people could buy chicken or eggs. Eggs is still like $7 to $8 a dozen. I mean, it's still very expensive. So a lot of people who, even if they've lived in their homes for more than 10 years, the everyday cost of living and the everyday upkeep of the house is just getting to be, or the maintenance and the cost to stay in that big home is starting to be a burden on the homeowner. And the thing is, like, it's something they basically said, you know what, I'm going to cash in right now and I'm going to, buy a smaller home. So you have one that's upgrading and you have one that's downsizing. Because let's face it, if you have like a home in a 1 acre, the cost of landscaping alone could cost you, at least fall cleaning could cost you $2,000 or $3,000. So a lot of these costs will be eliminated if you basically downsize. Hi, Mana. Thanks for joining. Welcome back, because you travel a lot. Anyway, so that's another reason why people do consider selling, is because they're downsizing. Now, the third one basically is a change in relationship status. So either you just got married, or you just had a baby, or you just had a divorce. For whatever change in relationship that you have is basically one of the reasons why you have to sell where you are right now. For example, a lot of you, when you bought a home, like a starter home when you started, and now you have one kid and now you're expecting your second child. So not only, it kind of like boils down to like combining like the upgrading part and changing relationship status, is because you either single, got married, now you're expecting a first child, so you need a bigger home. So wherever you are right now, you have to sell your home. And then, or I know a couple of friends of mine, people I know who ended up getting a divorce, and now they have no choice but to sell the primary home that they have and basically, move their separate ways. So in that change, hey, Julian, thank you for joining. So that change in relationship actually is another reason why people ended up having to sell their home, even if they're locked in the 2-3% interest rate. Now, this is something I have, I guess it's my age. This is something that the next reason is something I've been hearing a lot lately. The last reason people actually have to put their homes on the market is because of health reasons. As we all know, as you get to a certain, this does not apply to everyone, by the way. I have a friend, Hedda, she's 95 years old. She's healthier than I am. So, but there's one of the reasons a lot of homeowners are looking to sell their home and downsizing, basically, it's not just the expense of and maintenance of the cost. One of the reasons they are doing this is because if, let's say, the homeowner faces mobility challenges or health issues, or if you're just getting older, you just may be tired of going up and down the stairs. And a lot of us basically are seriously thinking, okay, one, do I really need this big house? I'm an empty nester, that's one. Or do I really need a big house and I have to climb up and down the steps? What happens 5 years from now is 5-10 years from now. So when you're, because of health concerns, it doesn't matter the age, by the way, because of health concerns, having a more acceptable or suitable housing may be something you might want to do something with right now. I have a client who just purchased a beautiful home and just found out that the spouse has cancer and can no longer go up and down the stairs. So now I'm trying to help them find a ranch house, because the stairs are just something that's going to be a real problem. So sadly, these are some of these reasons why people have to sell. Does exist. But if you are basically thinking of selling for whatever the reason is, a lot of you basically who are locked into the, according to the chief economist in Realtor.com, basically explain, homeowners who are locked in a 30-year fixed rate in the 2-3% range don't really want to give up and exchange that rate to 6-7%. But at the same time, in reasons that we just discussed, they may not have a choice and they really have to sell their house. And the thing is, if you're one of those homeowners, one of the things you might want to look into is that don't look at the rate, actually. Don't just look at the rate. Think of the overall picture while you're moving. And the thing is, like I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, I put a listing in Danbury, a 2-bedroom condo, and it sold pretty much in a week. And what was very interesting was when I did a public open house, majority of the people that came are basically the 2-3% homeowners, homeowners that have locked in 2-3% interest rate. And the thing is that all of them, and I mean all of them, decided they want to downsize, or they just want to cash in and take advantage of that high price that they never thought they're going to get on their house, and decided to downsize. And one of the things they've done, and this can go, this could apply to anyone, what they've done is they sold their homes, locked in that profit. Some of them made 40% that one they expected, because some of them actually doubled their money because they've owned their house for quite a long time, and they have very low mortgage on that. But what's quite interesting is that what was so surprising, well, not really surprising, it's quite genius actually, is like they sold their $2-3 million home, or they sold like their $500,000 home, and basically decided to downsize. Hi Dave, thank you for joining. But what's interesting is one of the biggest problem with a lot of homeowners right now, which is making it difficult for them to sell, is they just don't know where to go and what to do next. So the reason I'm bringing this up, because this is what I found fascinating, is the people that came to my open house decided to cash in and keep that money, and ended up buying this 2-bedroom condo. And I said, like, you're giving up your mansion to buy a 2-bedroom condo. Why are you doing that? Now you're paying 6-7%. And what's interesting, this is what they said. Well, we may be paying 6-7%, but the mortgage that we're going to get is a lot less than what we have right now. So some of them are actually, their mortgage, monthly mortgage payment is not even, some of them are a lot less than that we're paying right now. So it kind of like evens out. And what's interesting is that they ended up looking for a place that's temporary, something that they could live in like 2-3 years until interest rate starts, going back down, and then find another dream home. Because as they said, like, you know what, we may not want to stay in Connecticut. We may want to move somewhere else, But right now, this is kind of like, you know, when your kids go to school, they wanted to get a gap year. This is basically their gap year. They just want to like not do anything for the next year or two, just enjoy life. You know, they're tired of paying so much money in the maintenance of their home, and they just want to cash in because having a bigger mortgage basically is just too much for them, and right now they just want to enjoy life. So that's one of the good reasons. If you're thinking of selling your house, look at the biggest picture. Look at the big picture. Don't focus too much on the interest rates. Yes, let's be honest, high interest rates make our affordability, you know, it has gone down. If you think we were going to purchase $1 million home with interest rates now, it could be, you know, a $600,000 home. But at the same time, if you are basically if you are relocating, that's actually, you don't have a choice. You are going to move. And the best way for you to do is just renegotiate your package to have them pay for your relocation. You know, see if you could get more money because your cost of living will be higher. You negotiate with your new, employer. Now, second one, if you're upgrading, then you know what, give me a call. You don't have to go, you know, there's a lot of different ways. The beauty about having high interest rate is not like during COVID, interest rates were low, but you have like 10, 20 people bidding on the same house. I mean, yes, granted, there are still a lot of home buyers out there, but there's less competition. So instead of paying like 30% more than the listing price, it's not going to be that bad as what it was during COVID when we had 2-3% interest rate. And then 3, if you're downsizing, do not worry. There's a lot of options out there. You don't have to go from a 6,000 square foot home to a 1,000 square feet condo. There are a lot of options, like what I said earlier. And then if there's any change in relationship, if you have basically getting a divorce or you just got married and then you need to move, that's a really pretty good reason why you're moving and selling your current home. And lastly, health concerns. A lot of people right now are thinking ahead, and if you're a certain age or basically for whatever health concerns or health reasons, it may be a good idea to sell your current home and stop worrying on what could be. And then, you know, we don't know what the prices of home is going to be in like next year, in a year or two. So if you have any questions, if you are thinking of really selling your home, then definitely give me a call. I have been an agent for 20 years. I am a relocation specialist. And oh, by the way, I forgot. One of the other reasons, I should add that in. One of the other reasons people are selling right now, my Danbury listing, for example, that actually was an investment property, and the homeowner has owned that property for 14 years, and they live out of state. So if you're currently own a property that's a rental property and you've owned it for like at least 5 years, give me a call, because right now, especially if you're out of state, definitely look into, this is what I did, you know, this is what my clients did, is basically they cashed in, they sold their investment property in Danbury and did a 1031 and purchased another investment property where they are, where it's basically the cost of purchasing another 2-bedroom is half the price of what they got in when they sold their investment property in Danbury. So if you're thinking of selling your home, or if you're thinking of investing on a property, I am basically commercial and investment real estate certified. My background is finance, and one of the things I love is investing and numbers. So if you're thinking of either selling your home or buying an investment property, definitely sit down with me. You have to sit down with an agent that knows all this, and we are here to help you. So if you have any other questions, definitely feel free to write it on the comment page. Next week, guys, is my 100th episode, so I am so excited. I want to say thank you. You guys have been incredible. I really appreciate all the support you have. I would not have this show if not because of all of you. Again, if you need anything, send me a text, send me a DM, and I'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions. That's why I'm doing this. I'm here to answer any questions that you have. Again, this is Jennifer Ho. I'll see you guys next week. I have a very fun episode next week. Anyway, take care and enjoy this gorgeous day. Take care, stay safe, be healthy. Enjoy your day. See you next week. Bye.